because this has really bothered me, what I've seen this year. And we had such high expectations on the Roe v. Wade being overturned, and I was almost devastated how much the church did not respond. And I'm serious. And people, I found out, I've said this in other Flashpoint Lives at other people's churches, and that pastor didn't respond. Whoops. Why? What does that say to you about the state of the nation, and what do we do to change the importance? I always look at, for Terry and I, when we vote, obviously it's the policies, but the best way to weed out who you don't want to vote for is like, are they pro-life? Are they pro-abortion? What are they pro? Oh yeah, let's cut that. Now we can look at this list. But evidently a lot of people don't look at it that way. Where did that happen? Where did we fail?
Yeah, I do travel a lot, and now I just found out that I may be followed on airplanes.
Abby's going to be in the airport. Looking behind her.
I think I've seen you before. I keep running into you on my flights. Weird. Because somebody up here was at the Capitol on January 6th. I wasn't in it. Okay, I wasn't in it. I was just, for any of the FBI listening, I was just there on the premises. Anyway.
When you say premises, can you clarify premises? What premises?
Yeah.
Did you have the horn thing? Was that you?
No, but I actually do have I won't tell it up here, but I do have a funny story about that guy on that day. I can tell you later. Anyway. Okay.
Thank you, Abby Johnson, everybody.
Okay, so, anywho, Gene, when we were, as a nation, when Roe, was the law of the land, and we were, as a nation, legally killing babies, murdering babies, let's just call it what it is, murdering babies, dismembering and slaughtering babies through all 40 weeks of pregnancy, which some of you may not realize that that's legal in our country, but it is, and it's happening. It happens currently it happens in 2 states. It happens in Colorado. There's a man named Dr. Warren Hearn that will electively, that means for any reason, murder a baby through all 9 months of pregnancy. He does it in Boulder, Colorado, just right in the middle of town. It's a weird experience to walk through this medical district of Boulder, Colorado, and see this building and to realize this is like Auschwitz, just right in the middle of town. And I've walked by that facility, I've prayed outside of that facility many times, and I'm always alone. I'm always standing out there alone. Dr. Hearn has an incinerator in his facility so that he can burn the babies himself, so that he doesn't have to send them off to be burned. In New Mexico, there are 2 doctors, Dr. Curtis Boyd and Dr. Shelley Sella, and they also murder babies through all 9 months of pregnancy. It happens every day. There are about 18,000 babies killed in the 3rd trimester every year in the United States. And you may look at me and say, well, but Abby, you know, I've heard that all those babies are, you know, the mom's life is at risk, or these babies, they wouldn't live, you know, after they're born anyway. They're not viable, or they have very serious problems. Well, I just want to kind of debunk that for you for a second. Abortionists themselves, these abortion doctors, which I kind of hate to call them doctors, but these abortion doctors themselves, and the Guttmacher Institute, which is the abortion industry's research arm, they came out with a study recently, a couple years ago, and they asked women who had these third trimester abortions, why are you having this abortion? Certainly it's because you're going to die, right? Or certainly because your baby's going to die. And they said, no, I'm fine. Baby's fine. I just decided I don't want to be a mom. I just decided I don't really have enough money to have a baby. My boyfriend just left me, and I just decided I don't want to be a single mom. What they found is that women who have abortions in the third trimester, who are killing viable full-term babies, are murdering them for the same exact reason women are murdering their babies in the first trimester. And the abortionists themselves say to the media, you can look it up, they say to the media, they say in interviews, I very, very rarely commit an abortion in the third trimester on an unhealthy mother or an unhealthy child. So I guess my answer to that, Gene, is that if we as a church were not stepping up and doing something when our nation was allowing the murder of children through all 40 weeks of pregnancy, why in the world would we step up and do anything when we overturn Roe? We weren't stepping up and trying to stop the murder of these innocent children when their lives were on the chopping block every single day. I can't say I do understand it. I mean, when I go to vote, I look at one thing. I look at whether they believe in the murder of children or not. That's it. Because that tells me really everything I need to know about that candidate. It tells me what their character is like. Because if you believe in murdering our most innocent, if you believe in murdering our most vulnerable, then guess what? You're not going to protect our school-age children. You're not going to protect the elderly. Chances are we don't have anything in common. And I am not, write this down. Promo code Abby. I am not, we all have promo codes, Mike. I am not going to cooperate with evil. I am not. I am not going to cooperate with someone who says it's okay to kill babies some of the time. No. A child in the womb has intrinsic value at the moment of conception. Period. And there are people out there that say things like, well, I don't know, what about this situation? What about that situation? Or what about these women that conceive and rape? You know what? I wish I had a picture that I could put up on a screen or something. But I have a son who's adopted, and he was conceived through assault. and he's beautiful, and he's perfect, and he is just as valuable as my children who are conceived in love. And if somebody is willing,
Good.
and I can tell you right now, nobody would be willing to look that sweet child in the face and tell him, you're not worthy of life. We have got, Christians, brothers and sisters, we have got to stand strong on these issues. We have got to be uncompromising
That's right.
on these issues. Do not be a politician when it comes to matters of life and death. Do you understand what I'm saying? We are not here to compromise on matters of life and death. We are not. There is nowhere in the Bible that says life is valuable sometimes. Life is valuable when you need an important vote. Life is valuable when you need to appeal to Democrats. Life is valuable when you need campaign contributions. No. Life is valuable always. Every time.
Amen. Amen. Wrap this up.
I just want to add a couple of data points to back up exactly what Abby's saying in terms of practical voting process for you. Because what she's saying is 100% right, and we've done the studies with members of Congress and state legislatures. If you look at someone who has a 100% pro-life voting record and a 0% with all the pro-abortion groups, and then you look at that same person through the groups that only care about taxes and regulation and all of the other things that happen in politics, you'll find that the person that is protecting the life of the child is most likely to protect your liberty, your wallet, your property rights, your due process rights, all those other things. And the ones that are 0% with the pro-life groups and 100% with the pro-abortion groups are the very ones regulating you, taking away your liberty, taking away your property, and all those things. So she's 100% right. If they don't care about your life, they're not going to care about your liberty. They're not going to care about your pursuit of happiness. It's the easiest way, if you don't know the candidates, to go in and quickly know which ones you should vote for. And as you started with on this, it should be the #1 reason for voting for or against someone.
All right.